What if 5 days could change everything? What if you could reset your body, your energy, and your mental clarity without needing a vacation, quitting your job, or overhauling your entire life? This isn't hype. It's science-backed, habit-driven, and rooted in years of working with thousands of patients who felt as if life was slipping away until they learned how to press reset. I've seen people from all walks of life, mums, CEOs, teachers, nurses, come into my clinic with the same story. I'm exhausted, I can't focus, I'm snapping at the people I love, and I don't know how to stop. And I get it, honestly, I do. I've been there at many times in my life as well, overstressed, burnt out, and exhausted. However, what I've learned from my own life and from seeing tens of thousands of patients is that most people don't need more time. They actually need more presence, more intentionality, and more space. And one of the ways in which you can get there is with a structured reset, just 5 days. In my second book, The Stress Solution, I talk about a concept called micro-stress doses. These tiny daily hits of stress that accumulate and quietly rob you of your energy and joy. You don't notice them at first, the phone notifications, the skipped meals, the rushed mornings, the late night doom scrolling. But over time, they leave you feeling depleted and lost. Because when we're constantly reacting, we lose connection to who we really are and what actually brings us peace. Now, one patient, let's call him Tom, was in his 40s, corporate job, 2 kids, and he said to me, I wake up tired and I go to bed wired, and I can't remember the last time I felt happy. So I suggested that he go on what I call a simple 5-day reset. It wasn't about restriction, it was just about realignment. Day 1, morning stillness instead of morning stress. Day 2, 5-minute strength over scrolling. Day 3, protein at breakfast. Day 4, phone-free evenings. And day 5, reprioritizing joy. After just 5 days, he told me he was starting to feel like himself again. Now, here's the thing. Most of us actually don't need big changes. We need tiny daily ones. Because motivation fades and willpower runs out. Small daily actions are not only achievable, they also build momentum. And momentum is probably one of the most important forces in long-term change. This 5-day reset is not about productivity hacks. It's about biological alignment. You see, our whole body is connected. You simply cannot separate body and mind. Change one thing and you change everything. Once you start moving your body regularly, your mood naturally follows, your self-esteem grows, and your desire to look after yourself in other areas of your life grows as well. Once you eliminate stress first thing in the morning, you access a different level of calm. You start to see the world differently and you make better choices. This 5-day reset is about bringing these 4 pillars, food, movement, sleep, and relaxation, back into balance, gently and sustainably. So this is what my 5-day reset framework looks like that I would love you to give a try. Day 1, reset the morning. The way you start each day impacts the way the rest of the day goes. So could you consider no screens for the first 30 minutes? Now, I know for some of you that's going to sound scary, but it really shouldn't be. 30 minutes without screens in the morning, if you're able to, can be absolutely transformative. What are you going to do in that time? Well, there's all kinds of things you could do. You can make your cup of tea or coffee in silence without music on, without scrolling email. You could read a book. You could also consider 5 minutes of breath work or stillness. You could do some journaling and perhaps write down one sentence. Today I will. Maybe it's the most important thing you have to do that day. Maybe it's a quality of yours that you want to showcase to the world. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The key thing is 30 minutes every morning without your phone is the way that you stop starting your day with stress and instead you start it with calm. Day 2, reset the body. This is all about bringing movement into your life, okay? So one thing I love doing myself and my patients have loved for years are 5-minute movement snacks, squats, stretches, yoga postures, or even going for a walk. Now, can you bring those things into your life regularly? I do a 5-minute kitchen workout every single morning whilst I'm waiting for my hot drink to get ready. Okay, very simple, very easy, and builds momentum first thing in the morning. I know day 1, which we just covered, was about resetting the morning. Well, perhaps you can put one of these 5-minute movement snacks in during those 30 minutes without a screen in the morning. Other things to consider today are a tech-free outdoor break at least once. Maybe at lunchtime, you commit to going for at least a 10 or 15-minute walk without looking at your phone. And one more thing you could try is to stand every 30 minutes for a posture reset. If you're going to do that, I'd recommend you put an alarm on your phone or somewhere else that's going to constantly remind you to get up every 30 minutes. If you don't think you could do them all, that's completely fine. The key is that you do something on day 2 to start bringing more movement into your life. Day 3, reset your nutrition. Okay, the way you can do this is hydrate first thing in the morning with 2 glasses of water, maybe with some salt or some electrolytes in it, and avoid blood glucose spikes by prioritizing protein with your first meal. Now, why protein? Well, firstly, protein is really satiating, so it tends to keep you full for longer. Secondly, digesting protein utilizes more energy than other foods, which is really helpful if you're trying to lose excess weight. And thirdly, protein helps maintain your muscle mass, which is really important, especially as you get older. Day 4, reset your evening. This is all about sleep, okay? So one of the most important things when it comes to our sleep is to change the signals to our brain in the last hour before bed. If you wake up each day already feeling tired, heavy, and behind, it probably means that you've experienced high levels of stress, which has impacted the state of your nervous system. And the longer you leave it, the harder it becomes to break free. That's why I have created this free guide, the 3-minute morning routine that rewires your brain for energy and calm. It's the exact process I have used with so many patients to help them reset their nervous systems. No stress, no fluff, just 3 minutes that can change everything. Because let's be honest, if your mornings feel like survival, it's highly likely the rest of your life will as well. Click the first link in the description box below or scan the QR code on screen to start eliminating stress and start your days with a dose of calm. Okay, so in the day, we've got lots of lights, we've got lots of stimulation and emails. And I think about an hour before bed, it's really important to change that signaling. For me, I switch on my laptop. I make sure I don't do any work emails. I change the lighting. Okay, so I've got a red light that I use in my living room. I turn that on and I will often read in front of that red light. So the whole mood is different. So have a think about those things, which one resonates with you. But I would say really do think about no phone if you can 1 hour before bed. I know it can feel hard, but I promise you it will make a massive difference. You know, people say, what should I do? Well, we could kind of do what we always used to do before 20 years ago when these phones didn't even exist, right? A book in front of a dim light in the evening is just a wonderful way to wind down before bed. You could take a bath, put on some music, whatever you want, but resetting your evening to have that relaxation time before bed is really, really important. Day 5 is about resetting for joy. I want you to think about one thing that you do each day just for fun. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Doing things that you love helps to make you more resilient to stress. At the same time, being chronically stressed makes it harder for you to experience pleasure in those things that you love. It goes both ways. So this day 5 part of the reset is all about joy. It's about bringing back that joy into your life. What is it that you love? Are you someone who basically only does stuff that they need to do for your work, for your family, for your partner? But what about something that you want to do for you? It could be a hobby, painting, drawing, singing. It could be putting on your favorite tune in the kitchen and dancing. It could even be watching your favorite comedian on YouTube for 5 minutes. Doesn't matter what it is. But joy is an essential part of health and well-being. Not everything we do around our health has to feel restrictive. This is one prescription from a doctor that can actually feel like a lot of fun. So that's it, my very simple framework for this 5-day structured reset. Now, the biggest block for many people is fear and doubt. Will 5 days really make a difference? Well, here's the thing. This reset isn't magic, it's momentum. Each small win gives you a reward. Dopamine, serotonin, confidence, self-esteem, and that creates upward spirals. As I write about in my 6th book, Make Change That Lasts, habit change isn't about perfection, it's about interruption. We interrupt the old narrative and instead replace it with actionable hope. You don't need to escape your life. You need to reconnect with it. This reset isn't necessarily about doing more. It's about doing less, but better. It's about coming home to your breath, your body, your purpose, and realizing that time, energy, and happiness were never outside of you. They were buried under a life where you were too busy to feel. 5 days. That's all it takes to remember how good you were designed to feel. Because the truth is, your energy isn't gone. Your happiness isn't broken. You've just been living in a way that has disconnected you from who you are. This reset is your way of returning back. Okay, so here's how I want you to begin. Number 1, choose your start date and circle it. And if you're choosing a date that's next week, why are you waiting that long? Why can't you start tomorrow morning or even today? Number 2, write down your why. It's really important that you connect with why you actually want to do this in your life. What's not working? What is frustrating you? And why do you think that a 5-day structured reset like this is going to help you? Number 3, share this video with a friend and do the 5-day reset together. Number 4, pay attention to how you feel as you are doing it and what is changing in your life. And finally, at the end of the 5-day reset, ask yourself, what elements of this reset do I want to implement and make a part of my daily life? You don't need a perfect plan. You just need something to interrupt your current daily patterns. So let this be the week where everything begins to feel possible again. You deserve time. You deserve energy and you deserve happiness. So let's do this. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're also really going to enjoy this one. What if I told you that feeling behind in life isn't a failure, it's a signal? A signal that the way you're measuring progress might be a little bit flawed. And my hope is that I'm going to save you years of stress, regret, and chasing the wrong goals.